There exists a land where nature expresses itself with primordial power, a realm sculpted by ice ages, where towering mountains plunge into crystalline waters, and a jagged coastline stretches for thousands of kilometers, drawing incredible boundaries between earth and sea. This is Norway, a kingdom of spectacular contrasts, of profound silences broken only by the cry of gulls or the roar of a waterfall, and of skies that, on the right nights, ignite with pure dancing magic. Prepare to journey with us into this breathtaking spectacle, deep into the wild heart of the north. And if you're captivated by the raw beauty of our planet, please give this video a like. It truly helps us bring you more explorations like this. Our voyage among Norway's water giants begins in a fjord that, while perhaps less famous than others, holds a potent, almost secret essence, the Hjørundfjord. Picture a deep blue corridor of water, over 30 kilometers long, squeezed between mountain walls rising almost vertically for over 1,500 meters. These aren't mere hills, they are the Lyngen Alps, sharp wild peaks, often snow-capped even in high summer, reflecting in an almost unreal silence, broken only by the passage of a small ferry. Less crowded than other celebrated fjords, the Hjørundfjord offers a more intimate experience, a direct connection with the power of alpine nature meeting the restless sea. Norway knows how to be even more surprising, almost theatrical in its grandeur. Let us venture further north, between the iconic Lofoten and Vesterålen islands, towards a near-hidden jewel, a name evoking legends of giants and mythical creatures, the Trollfjord. Here, reality almost surpasses fantasy. Its entrance is a whisper in the landscape, an almost invisible cleft between imposing rocks, barely 100 meters wide at its narrowest point. Entering by sea is an experience that steals your breath. Suddenly, the vastness of the ocean contracts into this narrow passage. Once inside, the fjord widens slightly, revealing a basin of water surrounded by sheer granite walls, looming vertically, so close it feels as though you could reach out and touch them. It's a short fjord, barely 2 kilometers long, almost a marine cul-de-sac, yet its concentration of wild beauty and drama is immense, almost overwhelming. The Trollfjord is a place where nature's majesty merges inextricably with the powerful echo of ancient Norse tales. Continuing our journey towards the far north, the scenery becomes even more dramatic. Behold, rising on the horizon, the Lyngen Alps. Not just coastal mountains, but a true alpine massif surging directly from the icy waters of the Arctic fjords. Jagged peaks exceeding 1,800 meters, draped in glistening glaciers, razor-sharp ridges and deep valleys carved by the power of ice and time. This is a vertical landscape, a wild paradise for mountaineers, extreme skiers, and lovers of pure adventure. Here, the challenge of the mountain meets the vastness of the ocean in a spectacular and unique combination found nowhere else on Earth. The Lyngen Alps are not just a sight to admire from afar. They are an irresistible call to exploration, a primordial realm where nature reigns supreme, imposing and stunningly untamed. Now we set course for an island often dubbed Norway in miniature, and for good reason. Welcome to Senja. As Norway's second-largest mainland island, Senja encompasses a diversity of landscapes that is simply breathtaking. Its outer coast, facing the Atlantic, is a procession of dizzying cliffs, jagged fjords cutting deep inland, and mountains of bizarre and spectacular shapes, like dragon's teeth planted in the sea. Viewpoints like Tunganeset or the Bergsbone viewing platform offer vistas that seem painted. Yet move inland or along the southern coast, and you find a completely different atmosphere. Gentle, forest-covered hills, placid lakes, picturesque fishing villages, and even enchanting white sandy beaches lapped by turquoise waters. Almost Caribbean, if not for the temperature. Our journey now leads us to Tromsø. More than just a city, Tromsø is a pulsating outpost of life situated nearly 400 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. Surrounded by snow-capped mountains, islands, and deep fjords, it stands as an incredible example of humanity thriving in an extreme environment, creating a dynamic and cosmopolitan urban center in the heart of the wildest nature. Tromsø is the prime gateway to one of the planet's most thrilling natural phenomena. From here, during the long winter nights, countless expeditions set out in search of the aurora borealis. The city itself, with its warm lights contrasting against the polar darkness and surrounding snow, provides a unique backdrop. Yet, it's not just about the aurora. Tromsø is the ideal base for unforgettable Arctic adventures, from dog sledding excursions and watching majestic whales frequenting the nearby fjords. It's a place where urban culture meets the power of Arctic nature, creating a unique and infectious energy. After the vastness of the far north, we return to the beating heart of the Lofoten Islands to conquer one of the most iconic and photographed views in all of Norway. We're talking about the ascent to Reinebringen. It's not a long hike, but the incline is steep. Below us, the picture-perfect village of Ryen reveals itself entirely. Its iconic red fishing cabins, scattered across small islands linked by bridges, set like jewels between the cobalt blue of the fjord and the deep green of the surrounding mountains. It's a panorama that takes your breath away, a perfect composition of natural elements and discreet human presence. An image etched in memory as the very symbol of the Lofoten Islands' spectacular beauty. Just north of the famous Lofoten, another spectacular archipelago stretches out, perhaps lesser known but equally captivating, the Vesterålen. Here, the coastal landscape, while maintaining a dramatic beauty with mountains plunging into the sea, sometimes takes on gentler features, with more open and accessible stretches of coastline. But the true soul of Vesterålen lies in the depths of the waters surrounding it. This is one of the world's best locations for whale watching, a veritable marine sanctuary. Particularly off the coast of Andenes, the deep underwater canyon, Bleikstupet, creates an incredibly rich ecosystem, attracting majestic sperm whales year-round, as well as orcas, humpbacks and minke whales depending on the season. Sailing these waters means having an almost certain chance of encountering the gentle giants of the sea. An experience that leaves an indelible mark. And then, there is the one, the king of the fjords, the postcard image that made Norway famous worldwide, the Geirangerfjord, a name that resonates as a synonym for absolute natural beauty. Entering this 15-kilometer-long fjord is like sailing into a living painting. Its deep, intense blue waters mirror near-vertical rock walls rising hundreds of meters, cloaked in surprisingly lush vegetation clinging to every ledge. But the true spectacle of Geiranger is its waterfalls. Iconic, legendary, they seem to pour directly from the sky. The Seven Sisters, 7 distinct streams of water cascading gracefully down the rock face, opposite the forceful plunge of the Suta waterfall, Frieren, which legend says tries in vain to woo them. And nearby, the Bridal Veil waterfall creates a misty effect on the rock. Even the roads climbing its slopes, like the famous Ornevegen, the Eagle Road, offer dizzying viewpoints, panoramas embracing the fjord's entire magnificence. Tucked away within the spectacular folds of the Lofoten Islands, nestled in a small sheltered bay surrounded by imposing mountains, lies a perfectly preserved gem, Nusfjord. This is no ordinary village, but one of the oldest and most authentic fishing villages in all of Norway, a place where time seems to have stood still. To wander here, among the neat rows of iconic red traditional cabins on stilts overlooking the water, is to immerse yourself in a unique atmosphere. You breathe the salt-laced air, sense the echo of centuries of cod fishing, and feel the history of a life both harsh and deeply connected to the sea. Nusfjord is a precious time capsule, a microcosm that tells, with its quiet, collected beauty, the deepest soul of Norway's coastal culture. Let us now leave the jagged coastlines and deep fjords to venture into the mountainous heart of southern Norway, to a place whose very name evokes legends and power, Jotunheimen, the home of the giants. This national park guards the highest peaks in the country and all of northern Europe, including Galdhøpiggen and Glittertind, giants of rock and ice soaring above 2,400 meters. It is alpine landscape in its purest form, deep valleys carved by glaciers, glacial lakes of an unreal turquoise, and sharp ridges challenging the sky. Here nature reveals itself in its rawest and most majestic form. Hiking iconic trails like the Besseggen Ridge, suspended between the green lake Gi and the deep blue Besvatnet, means plunging into a grandiose environment where the force of the elements is palpable. Jotunheimen is the realm of bare rock, perpetual glaciers and boundless panoramas, an alpine sanctuary commanding respect and offering unforgettable adventures on Norway's rocky rooftop. Now, we venture to the ultimate Arctic frontier, a kingdom of ice and almost unreal silence, the Svalbard archipelago. Located halfway between mainland Norway and the North Pole, these remote lands are dominated by an extreme and magnificent nature. Here, glaciers are not just features of the landscape, they are the landscape. Colossal tongues of ice spill directly into the sea, carving icebergs with thunderous roars. Vast ice caps cover much of the territory, sculpting sharp peaks called nunataks that emerge like rocky islands from a white ocean. This is the realm of the polar bear, the undisputed sovereign of an ecosystem as fascinating as it is fragile. And when the long polar night descends, Svalbard becomes one of the planet's most spectacular stages for the aurora borealis. Amidst this extreme environment, small human communities survive, and even fascinating relics of the past linger, like the abandoned Soviet mining town of Pyramiden, a ghost town frozen amidst the ice. Svalbard is an all-encompassing experience, a direct encounter with the primordial power of the Arctic world. Norway reveals itself as a masterpiece of nature, constantly changing yet eternally majestic. It's a land that gets under your skin, awakening a sense of primordial wonder and reminding you of the power and fragile beauty of our planet. We hope this journey through its most iconic landscapes has inspired you, moved you, and ignited a desire to explore. If Norway's wild beauty has captured you too, please give this video a like. It's a small gesture that helps us immensely to keep bringing you stories from around the world. And so you don't miss out on future adventures among the natural wonders of our planet, subscribe to the channel. There's still so much more to discover together. Until the next exploration, let the grandeur of nature continue to inspire your dreams.